see your faces because now it's much different than on the bus. In general, when you guide your tourists on the bus, it will be different than guiding them like this, because like this you can see their faces, you can see their reaction, you can understand you or not, you can see their beauty also.
Thank you.
On the bus,
Thank
sure.
you.
It was a compliment, yeah. On the bus, it's different. So you saw there is a sign up there on the main road. If you miss the entrance over here, there is a big sign, a brown sign. Usually when there is a brown sign, the brown color is for a tourist attraction. And it means for the Rashbi cave. The Rashbi cave is this cave, and the route starts from there. It's called the Rashbi cave, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Just a few more words about the deruze that we started on the bus. We talked about the deruze, the religion that came out from the Islam in the 11th century, spread around the northern part of Israel and Lebanon and Syria in the 11th century, ran away to be safe in this area. It's a closed religion, you cannot join them anymore. It's a very secret religion. That's just the religious people of the Druze know
After 40?
about. What is that?
After 40?
After 22 years.
22
years it was open, then they closed it. Now, if they divided also to religious deruze and secular deruze. There are religious deruze that their name is the ukal. Ukal is the mind, right? Ukal, Arabic akal. Akal, help me out. Akal is the mind. So it's the akal or the ukal, and the juhal. Juhal is Juhal is the rest of the people. 90% of the rules are Juhal. 90% of them are Juhal, and 10% are Ukal, Akal. Okay? And the Akal one are the religious one. The religious people are the Akal one, and they are the one that they're allowed to go to the Chilwe. The Chilwe is the prayer house of the rules.
90 to 10, you said? 90% and 10%?
10% are religious, 90% are secular. Okay? 10% are religious, and they're the ones that know the secret.
Khilwe solitude, right? Like a solitude.
Khilwe is the name of the Druze prayer house. Instead of a church or a mosque or a synagogue,
religious.
but it's a very, the Chilwe, by the way, is a very, because they wanted to be hidden from the other population, so it was a very, very simple house. It's a very simple house. You don't see the Chilwe. There are no signs from the outside. It's just a very simple, modest house. And just the religious people are allowed to go to the Chilwe to pray over there, and just the religious people are allowed to open the holy books also. So if you're a secular deruze, you know that you are deruze, but you are not allowed to go to the prayer house. You are not allowed to open a holy book, which make the religion of the deruze very, very secret. It's a secret religion, and most of them don't know about it.
How do they know who's Ukal and who's Juhal?
They decided in the age of 15, a boy or a girl can decide if they want to be religious or not. In the same family, you can find sometimes the husband is religion and the wife is not, or the opposite.
Can they change? Can they make
They
tshuva?
can change. Yeah, they can change. Yeah, they can change. They can move to be from the religious to secular also.
What is their holy book?
What is their holy book?
That's one of the
There are
secret.
6 holy books. 6 holy books. It's called El Hikmeh, the wisdom. El Hikmeh, the wisdom, 6 holy books.
What's in it? Where does it come from? Out of the
Hakim, the
Quran?
umbrella.
Does it take pieces, parts, or we don't know?
We don't know because it's a secret, but basically it was written by these 2 followers of El Hakim, these 2 followers in Egypt. The original one, they wrote it in the beginning of the 11th century, and they wrote the basic rules of this, but we don't know it because it's a secret.
Al-Hakam ba'Abdillah, right?
Yes, yes. Okay, in Israel we have 2 villages in the Carmel Mount, Dalet El Carmel and Asfiya, and we have 4 villages in the Golan Heights, and the rest of the villages, the majority are in the Galilee, and the vast majority of Druze live in the upper Galilee in this area over here. Okay, this is about the Druze. But actually the place we're now sitting over here looks like a paradise, don't it? Look, it's beautiful, it's nice, it's like an island in the middle of all the mountains over here. It's very, very calm and pleasant. And we are here because of another tradition that is here. Have you heard about the Jewish tradition? There's also a Jewish tradition. And according to the Jewish tradition, by the way, we're talking about traditions. And you're going to be, you're tour guides, very soon you're tour guides, and it really depends where the people that are standing in front of you. If you're standing in front of pilgrimage, or religious Jewish people, or religious Muslim people, doesn't matter if they're really religious, you don't have to say according to the tradition, because you are saying this is the thing it happened. This is where Jesus understand. This is where Rabbi Rashbi was. It's exactly this is the place. But if you're talking about general group or general human being that wants to see some facts, you can say according to the tradition, okay? Because we're not sure about it. So it's tradition. It's open-minded or not open-minded according to your clients, according to your tourists. So you have to be very, very sensitive who you are talking to. And it's a little bit different. Just one sentence can make the whole difference. So I would say, according to the tradition, 2,000 years ago, we had the Great Revolt of the Jews versus the Roman. The Roman Empire was a big empire over here. And you're talking about the Great Revolt already?
Yeah, you said it's a Trinity Jews and the Great Revolt. I'm like, I think we knew that.
The Roman period, and then we had the Great Revolt of the Jews versus the Romans. Because at the beginning there was a local king over here, and you will learn about him, King Herod the Great, the crazy genius guy, and you will learn about him in Masada, in the Western Wall, also the Temple Mount, and also in Caesarea. And as a crazy genius, good politician, he knew how to keep the balance between the needs of the Jews and the Romans. But the ruler that came after him were not wise enough to keep the balance, and they brought too much pagan Roman culture over here, and eventually we have the Great Revolt of the Jews versus the Romans, 66 to 73. It didn't end by this. The Jewish people had another revolt over here, the revolt of Bar Kokhba. 132, 135, right? You learned it. Very good. Someone did it wrong. Very good.
We are with the orange.
So this is the second revolt, the revolt of Bar Kokhba. Bar Kokhba was the great leader at that time, and who was the spiritual leader? Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was the spiritual leader, and Rabbi Akiva was a great educator, and he educated a lot about the Torah, and he taught the Torah all the other students. But Rabbi Akiva was murdered by the Romans in Caesarea. Very good. One of his main students was Rabbi Judah ben Bava. If you heard about the name Rabbi Judah ben Bava, he was one of the main students, and he continued the legacy of teaching the Torah. And one of his students was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rashbi. Initially it's Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He was one of his students. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai continued to learn about the Torah, although Adrianus, Caesar, said that it's forbidden anymore to learn Torah, to teach the Torah. There were a lot of restrictions by the Romans, and one of the restrictions by Adrianus was not to teach and not to learn Torah. But Rashbi continued to study the Torah with other friends of him by Rabbi Judah ben Bavayet.
So the student of Akiva, of Rabbi Akiva.
The student of Rabbi Akiva and the student of Rabbi ben Bava.
Very nice.
He was a student of Rabbi Akiva and the student of Rabbi Judah ben Bava also.
Very nice.
And he continued to learn about it, and of course it was forbidden. So he was chased by the Romans, and Adrianus and the Roman commander want to catch him, and once they catch him, they either catch one of the students, they either killed him or send him to the exile. And then the Romans were very strict about finding what is going on with those people that's still teaching and studying the Torah, and they kind of recorded them and see what they're thinking about the Romans also. And they realized that all the other students really impressed by the Romans, although they study the Torah, but they really respect the Romans, and they're impressed by them. So they say the Romans brought over here a lot of development, bathhouses, bridges, aqueducts, beautiful things that they are actually we share with the Romans and thank them for a few things. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said no. Everything that they're doing in the wrong values, wrong manners, and for themselves. If they're having bathhouses, it's just for their body, but not for their soul. If they're having bridges over here, for example, it's just for collect taxes. It's for money. The only thing about themselves, we don't have to cooperate with the Romans. Everything that they're doing over here, every development is just for themselves. And he was really extremist by the fact that he is not going to cooperate or to talk good things about them. And they knew about it. This is why you have to run away from all the way from the Lower Galilee. He ran away to here. Yeah. The tradition said that he ran away to here, and that there was a village over here that named Becca, a Jewish village that named Becca over here. And at the beginning, Becca, that eventually was Bukea, but eventually Pekiin. So the original name is Becca, then Bukea, then Pekiin. And at the beginning, what's that?
Original name is what?
What is it?
Shimon, original name.
Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rashbi. This one over here. Rashbi is the initials letter. Ladies and gentlemen, he, according to tradition, came to the village over here, down to the synagogue over here, and he was hidden with his son Elazar in the synagogue. But then they realized that they don't trust the people over here. If they didn't trust even his wife, he said, if the Roman will ask his wife where he is, she will tell him some point because she's bringing food and water to the synagogue. He said it's not good enough to be in the synagogue. I'm going to hide in the cave. Where is the cave? This is the cave. This is the cave that, according to the tradition, for 12 years. 12 years, this is a long time. He was here with Elazar, his son. And miracle happened over here, 2 miracles. The water came out from the rock over here. There was a freshwater spring over here so they could drink water. And a carob tree. Look at it around you. This is a carob tree. Charuf. And you can eat carobs and have water, not be dependent on the people of Becca. He isolated over here.
Water comes up to the cave.
The water came from the cave, from the mountain.
So
We're
they
talking
can
about
grab
here.
the water from inside
From
while
here,
they
you
are
can live over here, be safe, nobody will know about it. The water
not taking food from the cows.
from the cave. Yeah. Surviving. We hear about a lot of surviving in the history. Also, King David survived in En Gedi with the dates and water in En Gedi. Okay, so people survived with basic fruits at that time. Here we're talking about carrots and water. And after 12 years, who came to announce the fact that its end, what it will mean end, Adrianus died, and all the restrictions against not teaching and not studying the Torah ends. Elijah, Eliyahu Navi, El-Hader arrived eventually and told them, you can go out, it's over. And when they went out, he and his son went out, and they were very upset about humanity because they said while we were here for 12 years, we were talking about spirituality, and we talk about things that are very, very emotional and very spiritual, and they actually were the base of the book of the Kabbalah, which is the Zohar. The book of the Kabbalah, Zohar, you're going to be in Tzfat, the city of Tzfat, you're going to learn about all the Kabbalah of the Jewish tradition. And one of the main book of the Kabbalah is the Zohar, which according to the tradition was written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai 12 years, for 12 years that you were sitting over here. And it makes sense that after you were here for 12 years doing nothing, and you were very spiritual, and you can write and think about very, very high thing about the Kabbalah. So we are not going to have a Kabbalah session over here because not all of us are 40 years old, right? There are some younger people over here. In order to teach them to study Kabbalah, you have to be at least 40 years old and very mature. And once you're 40 years old, you can learn about the Kabbalah. But the Kabbalah talk about the deep meaning of understanding about our life. Not only to light candle on Shabbat, not only to observe kosher, but to really understand the deep meaning of your life, why you are doing this and that. The Kabbalah talk about your name, the name that each one of you have. Your parents gave you a name. It's not just a name. It's a name with a lot of energy behind this name. And the Kabbalah said about energy of give and take. Every moment in life, people are giving energy or taking energy. And the Messiah, the redemption, will come in the day that everyone will wake up and will think about how they can give energy to other people, and then all of us will be righteous, and then the Messiah and the redemption will come, and the Kabbalah continues, goes and on and on. It's a very long process. You have to think about it, you have to learn it, and it's all the source of it starts over here in the cave by Ashma. Eventually he went out and he continued his life, and he actually is buried according to the tradition just on the other side of the mountain in the same level. It's called Meron. You probably heard about Meron, the Lag BaOmer celebration.
Yeah, Lag BaOmer.
Meron and Lag BaOmer, it's just same area over here, same level on the other side of Mount Meron. Because we are in the edge over here. This is the edge, this is geological reef. That Mount Meron from here now went up. This is the valley. We're in the Western Galilee. This is the Central Galilee. So we're just on the edge over here because the West Galilee is over there, Central Galilee is over there. Mount Meron is up there, and if you go all the way to Mount Meron and go down to the other side, the reef, before the Kinneret, you'll get to the Rashbi cave, at the Rashbi cave of the burial place.
How far
in
is that
Meron.
about? How far is it about?
It's about
Except the grave.
10 kilometers.
Oh wow! So it's on the same level as
It's
this?
the same level over here on the other side of the mountain, which is amazing to think about it. It was hidden over here and buried on the other side, same level. Another miracle. Just few words about the carob. The carob tree over here is not carob. Hello. Is not mentioned in the Bible. We are not sure it's originally from that period, the carob, because we know that the carob brought over here to the land of Israel at some point. It's not originally from here. All right. The seeds of the carobs are very interesting. If you take the seeds of the carob, every one of them, you weight the same thing. Same thing.
Karot.
karat.
right.
Karat, very soon. And in ancient times,
they go,
in
make it.
ancient time, they weigh the gold with the seeds of the carrots. Very good. And if you take the seeds of carrots, each one of them is the same size. Also, you can know the size of your shoe. From the beginning, from to the end of your shoe, you put all seeds of carrots. Then you'll know that you are 42 or 43 or 44 or 45 or whatever you are. 39. It's also according to the seeds of the carrots. Okay. And of course, the meaning of karatin in the ancient Greek is the carrot, which is also the idea of karat, the gold.
Carrot.
All right. Questions?
Carrot seeds are the same size or?
Carob seeds are the same size and same weight. Same size, but mainly the same weight. The karat of the gold. That today you can weigh the gold. In ancient time,
Think
not
of
only the gold.
diamonds or carrots.
Well, not only the gold, also diamonds and pearls. Also pearls and other very precious stones were weighed by the karat. Yes.
So after 12 years, you came here to inform him that everything is over.
Al-Qadr. Wow.
El-Qadr.
You say Elijah.
You knew that.
Elijah, Elias, Al-Qadr, all the same.
The same Elijah in
The same Elijah, yes.
Same Elijah in
Run.
the-
Run.